Hi guys, which one to here? We are going to go through my Halloween books tonight. My little horsey, these little guys out of the way. These are from our wedding. There was a little thing inside there. I don't know what happened. That was for the women. This one was for the men. Now, starting with my new book that I bought. There's something about certain books, about the way they move in your hand or the paper, that makes you just want to keep holding on to them. And the smell of a book. So I got this one on the weekend. Haunted Canada, the 4th Terrifying Collection. There's one that I haven't heard of. This one we talked about yesterday. It's not haunting, but that's where I had space for it. Then this one, Chris the girl had got it, so I ordered it. Haven't read it yet. Ghosts of Salem, Haunts of the Witch City. This should be interesting. This one I bought at a store that used to be in our mall called Beehive. We used to sell our cotton candy there, but its place has gone under. So this one is the Haunted Stittsville Collection, and it's signed by the author. Haven't read all that. Then we have Ghost Stories of Georgia. I think I've read, right there. I'd have to reread it. Some of these I started reading it and then I stopped reading it. Canadian Monsters and Myths. This was okay. Looks like I have a few things. And then we have Haunted Museums and Galleries of Ontario. We got these one. Hang on. This one and the Canadian. There's a few of them here that I've got at our Canadian Tire. Our Canadian Tire. Again, I have something. They tell you that you read a lot when you use whatever you got to do that. So, Haunted Museums and Galleries. And then we have Ontario Ghost Stories. I have a couple. Hockey Hall of Fame, which is in Toronto. And The Witch of Plum Hollow. Never heard of her. And then, of course, I don't know where my Ottawa one is, but Ghosts of Kingston. This is written by Glenn Shackleton. As it says, from the files of the Haunted Walk. I've never done the one in Kingston. The one in Ottawa, yes. Haunted Ground. This was sent to me. This is Ghost Stories from the Rock, which is Newfoundland. This was sent to me by my friend Lily. I think I read a couple of them, but this is another one that I should be getting back into. And then I have this one, Field Guide to Ghosts. Now this one tells you about, let me go to the front here. Astral ghosts, animal ghosts, battlefield, biblical, celebrities, living ghosts, monsters, shadow ghosts, poltergeists, vampires, all sorts, and even warning ghosts. So, covers a gamut of ghosty roasties. And then, I think this is one of the first books I bought when I came here. Huge. True Encounters with the World Beyond. This is by Hans Holzer. I believe he was considered the godfather of the paranormal. Let's see how thick. Oh. And what do I have? I don't know. I have this. We'll have, Whaley House. Yes. I had this one marked, the Whaley House, because Regis Philbin was there. He was also on a program called The Haunting of Regis Philbin, I believe it was called, where he spoke, and he had Kim Russo, I think it is, medium there, and it was her program. And he told the story of him and his army buddy being there, seeing an apparition in the hallway. They were staying overnight, and I believe it might have been him. He got anxious when he seen it, and he wanted to know what it was and started crawling towards it, and it disappeared. Now, the story in this book says nothing about an army buddy. It talks about, I believe, his wife, and now I'm trying to remember. But the story that's in here is totally different from what was on the program. Totally different. And then, of course, my new one I got, Halloween trivia facts, over 300. There's another book in Amazon that talks about 500. Hello, Sassy Pooh. What's she doing, girl? I don't know what that is. That looks like it's... And there we have Sassy. Sassy. You coming to say hello? Nobody wants to see your butt. Turn around and look at people. Sassy. Good girl. Okay, you can move along now. Thank you. Whoops. Oh. Question 146. The ancient Celts believed that evil spirits were roving the countryside on Halloween night. What did they do in an attempt to protect themselves? Did they A. burn candy? They burned candy, a fruit in a bonfire. B. They bobbed for apples. C. They wore masks and costumes. Or D. They went door to door giving their neighbors treats. Okay, 147. Of all these celebrities were born on Halloween except one. Can you tell me which one does not belong? Michael Landon, Dan Rather, John Candy, or River Phoenix? There is an old belief that it is good luck to see which of the following on Halloween. A bat, B, a black cat, C, a spider, or D, a pumpkin. Now this, the Monster Mash, often played around Halloween holiday, was a 1962, same year I was born, so it is 63 years old. A novelty song by which of the following groups? Sir Jack-o'-lantern and the Pumpkin Smashers. That's A. B. David Dr. Livingston and the Tomb Raiders. C. Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers. Or D. Lord Paul Bearer and the Gravediggers. So, I'm going to mark off this page with one of my spooky bookmarks that I made, and we'll get the answers tomorrow. Okay, I got some stuff up here I gotta move. Okay, timber. Oh! Like I said, timber. I even forgot those were there. What's this? I don't know what diamond painting that's for. I got more of that stuff hanging around. I'm going to have to try and figure it out. Maybe that's for the tagger. I put that one away. Does it look like it? Maybe. So, I gotta mark these. Okay. Now, I'm not sure what is and what isn't. Okay, that isn't. This one I got years ago. My ex and I went to DC for our honeymoon. Ghosts, Washington's most famous ghost stories. That one. So that's old. Okay, I'm finding a place to put it. Then we have the Big Book of Canadian Hauntings. I've used this one in the past. What do I have? Ghosts and Witches is here. What's this? In a dream, I was at Mackenzie House, and Mr. Mackenzie appeared at the top of the stairs and told me my son would do great things. He'd become someone important. That's what I wrote. So far, no. Okay. My personal, whoops, diary from years ago. Okay, move you over here. It's from Winterlude. The next one from Jeff Belanger, or Bellinger. Encyclopedia of Haunted Places. I don't know if he still has his ghost site or not. I don't know if it mentions it in here. Oh, Ghost Village it was called. Okay. Founder of ghostvillage.com. I think I still get newsletter things in my old email address for him. This is uncomfortable. My ankle's in excruciating pain. Ghost Stories of Canada. It's always good to have a few. I have more than a few, mind you. And then I have this one. The Complete Book of Ghosts. A fascinating exploration of the spirit world, from apparitions to haunted places. That was on sale. That's probably why I got that one. And what's this one? Ghost Hunter's Guidebook. I probably read it. Looks like I've got some stuff highlighted. Oh my goodness. What's this from? Paranormal. I don't see a date on this. Oh, 2011. A scratch ticket from 2011. Yeah, I've got some stuff highlighted in here. Yeah. So we got that one. And we have Haunted Ontario, Encounters with Ghostly Shadows, Apparitions, and Spirits. That's number 4. And what do I have marked off? The U of T. That's about the door and Hockey Hall of Fame in this one. The door at the U of T. Now that was between 2 stonemasons, if I'm remembering correctly. They were both in love with the same woman. And when the one found out that the other was secretly meeting her, he went after the other guy with an axe. And it is said that the mark on one of the doors, the gouge, is from his axe. And I believe the one who killed him buried his body in a staircase, at the bottom of the stairs that was being built. And the body was not found until a fire. Now, I have been to this section with the door. A girl that lived on my street was going to school there, and she was signing up for her classes, so she asked me if I wanted to go with her. So I said, okay. And I never mentioned anything. I don't think she knew the story. We walked by these doors. No, she did. We walked by the doors. Nothing was said. When I got a few feet away, I said I had felt cold or felt strange by passing those doors. And that's when she said that was the one. That all that happened. I don't think I went back to look at it. That was a long time ago. Like 35, 40 years ago. Holy crap. And here's Haunted Ontario 3 by the same author. I don't know if you'd be able to find these ones anywhere. And then another one by Jeff, The World's Most Haunted Places. Did they have any from Toronto? Likely not. Ordzall Hall. Now that is one of the first paranormal channels that I watched. I don't know if they still have them, but they had cameras. That's Ordzall Hall. I don't see any. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. That's who our cat Waverly is named after. Billy Bishop Legion Hall. That would be here. That would be in Canada. I'm flipping through. Yes, it's in Vancouver, British Columbia. And they have a picture of the hall. Oops. Bang. Yes. I wonder if they still do tours and that stuff. Now, does it go into... talking. Okay, in 1964, the Legion Hall was named the Billy Bishop in honor of the top Allied flying ace during World War I, William Avery Billy Bishop. Billy hailed from Owen Sound, Ontario, and was understandably a Canadian national hero after downing 70 enemy aircraft. So that's kind of cool. Have that in there. And then Creepy Capital. Ghost stories of Ottawa and the National Capital Region. So, I have some here. The jail hostel, of course. Plum Hollow again. And Museum of Nature. I've been there. I don't think they have pictures in there. Nope. Now, wait a minute. Museum? Yes. It's a beautiful building. They were refurbishing it a few years ago. And we were able to peek in through one of the windows in a door. You could get into the museum, but I think it was the main lobby. That's what was under renovation. Well, hubby and I were looking through, and I said to him, I see a man standing on the left-hand staircase at the top, and he's looking at us. So, of course, he's looking for an actual person. He said, no, it's spirit form. So when they reopened after the renovations, the Haunted Walk had a special. They were going to take people through. So we went ahead and we went on that. Funny little story. The girl who was we were getting our tickets from, she remembered us from seeing us, I think it was downtown, because we had matching shirts. They were tie-dye that we had gotten on our honeymoon. She's like, oh, I remember, I seen you guys. And we're like, oh, okay. yeah, so anyways, while they're taking us through and telling us these different stories, now this museum was also used for our parliament when our parliament building, the center block, caught on fire back in the early 1900s. 1912 is coming to my head, but not 100% on that. But so we're going through, and the girl tells us about people who work there seeing someone on the left-hand staircase. That was crazy. I'm looking to see if it says anything. No, I'd probably have to go through. And they believe who haunts that is the architect. And here we have Ghosts of Ottawa. This is the companion book to the other one. I would be able to tell you the whole haunted walk if you had come to me a few years ago. Hubby and I were on, there's the gentleman who started it and who wrote the books. I wish he would do one for Toronto. I haven't been back to their office that they have on Spark Street to see if they have done one for Toronto. We have been on the Ghost in the Gallows 13 times, 14 times. On the original walk, which is all outside. We have been on that one twice. We've been to the one at Mackenzie King Estates on the Quebec side twice. We've been... What other one is there that they've given? The investigation of Laurier House, which is where two of the prime ministers lived. That one was kind of I loved being in the house at night. I'd always wanted to be there at night to see what it was like. But in other ways, it was a letdown, although myself and my son-in-law did have personal experiences. But at one point, I could verse and chapter the hauntings that they would tell, and I'd say there's their logo. If you come to Ottawa, I do suggest you take this, the Haunted Walk. They no longer go to the gallows. It is now, or it has been for quite a few years, it's a hostel. And they decided to part ways a couple of years ago. This had been brought up a few years before. And then I guess the powers that be thought about it and said, no, we'll still stay as pals. But a couple of years ago, the Haunted Walk decided that they wanted the rooms on, what do you call it? On death row. They wanted to use those to bring in revenue as rooms for people to stay instead of the walk. But my understanding is that the walk brought them quite a fair bit of money, which allowed them to go and have some repairs done to the jail. I have talked about my experiences there before, but I don't know if you could get this on Amazon, to be truthful. It might be worth looking it up. And lastly, we have haunted town halls. I don't think I have anything. I remember I did read through this book. I have one folded over for Toronto City Hall. That's probably the old City Hall. But now in the Ottawa one, I will show you. This is William Lyon Mackenzie King. This little situation that you see him sitting at was a shrine to his mother. It is still in Laurier House. And as I've mentioned before, that no one knew that he was a spiritualist until he passed away and it was made public. But before that, it was not noted that he was. When he died in 1950, he bequeathed the house to all Canadians. So Laurier House is basically a museum, and it's managed by Parks Canada. But I would say he doesn't really spend a lot of his spiritual time at Laurier House. I believe he's at the estate. I believe that's where he was most happy. And this is Monsieur Laurier, whom the house is named after. If I'm remembering correctly, it was friends of his who got money together in order to have the land and to build the home. And that's the home. We've been in it a couple of times. And now I know on Finders Beepers History Seekers, Matt does this too. And I've always done this. When I think of the people that have gone up that staircase, like Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, King George, Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, all these people have gone up those stairs and gone through that door. This one I think is still a restaurant, but it was a doctor's house. At the time of this book, it was called Friday's Roast Beef House, but it isn't anymore. It hasn't been for a while. And there is the jail blocks at the jail hostel. There's a picture of a gentleman I wanted to show you, which is, there's his death hand. His death hand. They wouldn't have done his face because he was shot in the head. That's just out there, isn't it? He was a father of Confederation, and he was kept at Parliament late one evening. There he is, Monsieur. No, wait a minute. That's Patrick James Whalen, who was hanged for the murder of Darcy McGee. But there was no actual solid proof. They just went by certain things that they found. They don't have a picture of Darcy McGee in here. What the heck? Yeah, he was coming home late from Parliament. He was on Spark Street. That's where the rooming house was that he lived in. He was originally from Montreal. People had asked his wife, aren't you concerned your husband by himself in Ottawa? And she said, although she loved him, he was not, oops. Hang on. Okay, low battery, it's telling me. Although she loved him, he was not a very good looking man, so she didn't have to worry. Isn't that nice? But, so that's that. So, anyways, he was getting his key out, and I believe he had rung the bell for the woman who owned the boarding house to open the door. And the story goes, when she opened the door, that's when he was shot, and his teeth came out of his head and ended up in the hallway. So there's that story. Interesting. So that's all my super paranormal, natural stories for you, and my books. These are the ones I go to when I've done my Vlogtobers in the past. And that'll be it for this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how much exact battery I have left. I could plug it in. And then I have all haunted places. I don't know why I made a great big list of everywhere that's got haunted places, but I did. So, if you would like me to tell you about more of the ghost stories from around here, and Canadian ones. I know I do have them in the past, but if you don't want to be bothered looking them up and you'd like me to tell you, just drop a comment below and we'll see what I can do. Till the next time, ciao for now.